welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be drawing one of my fans' OCs. The fan's name is Peachy Palette, and this is her character, Mika. I don't think there's any point in delaying, so let's just get started on the artwork, and I'll talk a little bit more about the creator of the OC and the OC's personality later. So as for the pose I drew here, Mika is playing her instrument and she's very excited, kind of hyping up the crowd and putting her fist up in the air like, yay! But the thing is, there actually wasn't enough room on my piece of paper to draw her hands, so I actually had to draw it at the bottom of the piece of paper and then edit it all the way to the top later. But it's funny looking at the original sketch because it just looks so silly. But for the most part, drawing the rest of this pose was pretty easy, besides the fact that she has an instrument and I do not know how to draw instruments whatsoever. So her instrument is an electric guitar, and I was very intimidated by this. Mostly because the shape of an electric guitar is very sleek and smooth, and I was concerned that if I didn't do it just right, it just wouldn't look good at all. But I was just gonna try my best because that was kind of the only thing I could do. I kind of regret not watching a bunch of videos to study on what electric guitars are supposed to look like, because I honestly don't even know what they look like. I don't know anybody that has one that I see very often, so I kind of am not familiar with what they look like even in general. So if I accidentally did something wrong and in real life this guitar wouldn't even play, I'm sorry about that. But I did have fun trying my best because it was something I was unfamiliar with. It was also fun to learn some new things. Right here in the footage, I was trying to make her hair look better. It has this kind of curly, maybe wavier texture. I don't really know how to describe it, but I was trying my best to imitate it from the original reference picture in my style, so this is what I came up with. I think right now, while I'm drawing kind of boring things, it might be a good time to talk a little bit about the creator of this OC. So the username of the person who created this OC is Peachy Palette, and she makes art videos here on YouTube just like I do. And a while ago, she asked me if I could draw her character, Mika, and I told her that I would probably try to. I don't always say yes about drawing people's OCs just because I don't know if I will be able to, and I don't want to make promises that I might not be able to keep. But if you ever do want me to draw your OC, always feel free to ask. I do like to draw people's characters, and I'd love to have a list of ones that I'm thinking of drawing, just in case I decide to draw someone's OC in the future. It's good to have requests. But I got a little off track there. Let's go back to the story time. So after a while, I did decide that I definitely officially did want to draw Mika. However, I had decided that I was going to draw her in my sketchbook. The main reason is because I was doing this thing called the Sketchbook Club here on YouTube. It's hosted by the YouTuber Mary Sketchbook, but anyways, each week there's a theme and you're supposed to draw something based on that theme in your sketchbook, and I was thinking, hey, there's gotta be a theme eventually that suits Mika, right? I had decided this a little bit after starting the Sketchbook Club, and no matter what, there was no theme showing up that seemed to suit Mika, and I just didn't know what to do because I didn't really want to draw her in my sketchbook while I was still doing the Sketchbook Club, but I also didn't really want to wait infinitely until there was a theme that suited her, so finally, right now, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna draw her digitally after all. But this did mean that I still had a plan for drawing her in my sketchbook, so I basically followed that just digitally. And this was the pose that I was originally gonna do digitally, and I'm also gonna do the same background that I was planning because, I don't know, I just really like my original idea. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry it took so long for me to get out this drawing, but I really hope you like it, Peachy Palette. And so for you guys that are still wondering about her character, here's a little bit about her. Her name is Mika, and she is 21 years old. Her hobbies are playing her guitar and also singing. Her favorite color is black. That's all I really know about her, but yeah, I think she's a good character and I was very excited to draw her. Now that I'm done with all that, let's talk a little bit more about the drawing. So right now I was doing this darker line art for her hair because I felt like it didn't stand out enough. It's kind of like the line art color I picked was too close to the actual shade of her hair and it blended in. It just wasn't looking very interesting, so I basically had to redo that. Normally I would have just used the layer that I had the line art in and then clipped in a new layer and put on this darker color all on top of it, but sadly I had already merged the layers at this point, so I had to do it a more complicated way, but I guess it turned out okay, so that's fine. I was also having trouble because I didn't really like how her face looked. I felt like the way I had made her smile looked weird, and I also didn't really like her eyes. So here I go, fixing things for a while until I finally like them more. While I do that, right now might be a good time to talk about random things that happened in my life recently. Random things in Sakura's life!
Oh, that was so cringe with the voice crack as I was laughing. Why did I even do that?
But okay, let's get back on track, guys. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is recently I've been watching this anime called Sugar Bunnies, and at first me and my sister didn't really know if we would like it because we decided to watch it together, but we actually ended up thinking it's super adorable. It's an anime from Sanrio, and they also made the anime Onegai by Melody, which he really loves, so we decided to try this after it, and honestly, it is just so cute. It is definitely childish in the aspect of, like, it is very innocent. I would actually recommend it to, like, any kid, but besides the fact that it is childish, it's like something about the innocence of the show really captures the essence of being a kid. I also love how the series has, like, this very pastel color palette. It's just so cute. The show also has a lot of focus on baking, and if you know me, you know that I love baking, so I was very excited to see that the series highlights that so much. There are some strange episodes though, like this one where it's a dog's birthday party and all the kids are making sweets for it, and they literally make sweets with a bunch of chocolate and coffee intentionally, and it's never mentioned that dogs can't have coffee or chocolate, and it eats it all and it's fine. Like, what? Bestie, dogs can't eat that. Regardless though, I definitely do think it's really fun and would recommend it for families. By the way, me and my sister have only finished a season so far, but we are halfway through the second season, Chocolat. My favorite bunny is the one called Strawberry Usa, and my sister's favorite is Blueberry Usa, although sometimes she wonders if she actually likes Strawberry Usa the best. But anyways, they're all so cute. I mean, it is Sanrio, and they just did a great job designing the super adorable characters. I took quite a while rambling about that, but there actually was one other random thing that I wanted to discuss, but in a moment we're gonna go onto the time-lapse footage, so I think I'll wait until then to go onto it because I don't know. It's been quite a long time since you guys have gotten a decent amount of real-time footage. Every time I seem to mess up and I don't get very much at all, so this time it's extra long as a treat because you guys have been waiting quite a while. The real-time footage in this video is going to be me adding some things that I forgot to add that I had on the original sketch, but when I went on to tracing it digitally, I just kinda didn't remember. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing this time. So right here I was fixing Mika's eye. I didn't like how it looked. I felt like it was too big, and after altering it, I definitely think it looks a lot better. I don't know, there was just something off with it. And now, finally, we're gonna move on to the real-time footage. So the first thing that I was adding was her guitar strap. She wasn't holding her guitar very naturally without one, but originally I had forgotten to include one, so here we are. I ended up deciding to make it yellow because she only has yellow in a bit of her design, and I thought adding it more throughout the picture would help tie the color together. So you might notice there are little cuts throughout the real-time footage. Certain parts I felt like were too boring, so I decided to cut it. I feel like right now though might be a good time to talk about the other random thing that happened. So recently, me and my siblings and mom were on a walk, and while we were on a walk, we saw a dog. The dog was an Akita, and I don't think I've ever seen one in real life before, so that was cool. But anyways, the dog came over and started trying to sniff us while my mom was talking to it. And I was holding out my hand so it could smell it because obviously I didn't want to just pet it before it even got introduced to me, so I was doing that and it seemed really happy, and then all of a sudden, the dog just literally walked away. She just seemed so disinterested. It was like she was so done. She was such a diva, and I didn't even get a chance to pet her. The owner said that she just had had enough. She already knew who we were now, so she didn't care anymore. But anyways, she was a very cute dog, and I'm glad that we got the chance to meet her, even if I didn't get to pet her. But anyways, back to the illustration. Right here I was shading the guitar strap because obviously I didn't just want it to be a flat color. I needed to do something to make it a little bit more interesting. I was also adding these little X's and other effects because I felt like she wouldn't buy such a boring guitar strap. There needed to be something to make it more entertaining and just cool looking. Then instead of making them black, I decided to set the layer to add glow because I felt like that would be more good looking. I don't know, I felt like the black was just too attention seeking. Right here in the footage, I was literally just staring at it, trying to decide if I liked it or not. And then after finishing that, I had to go on to the second thing that I needed to include, which was these little arm things that she has. Actually, I don't know what they're called. They're like, you have lines and then you kind of make them into X's and they give interest. Wait, what are they called? Now I gotta look it up. I think they're called arm fishnets. At least that's what the internet seems to say. Anyways, they're just something that sometimes people that like to dress in a more cool style wear, and she has them, so of course I had to include them, but I literally almost forgot. So sorry for almost forgetting, but I'm very glad that I ended up remembering, so yay! Right here I was just doing little touch-ups, and soon we're gonna go back to the time-lapse footage so I can finally fully finish up the picture and you can see the final result. Drawing Mika was very challenging for me, but at the same time it was fun. I don't usually draw the more cool looking characters, and every time I do it it's not easy, but I am happy that I got to try it, and I do think that the result is cute. Maybe not perfect, but I tried my best and I am happy with the effort that I put into this picture. Right now I'm adding lots of random things into the background. I feel like that always ties the picture together so well. It just looks so nice. For the most part, this is the background that I was planning in my sketchbook, just I wouldn't have been able to use all these brushes. If it had been in my sketchbook, I probably would have just done a watercolor splotch behind her and also some sparkles, and that would have been about it. I was having fun with finalizing with also adding like little sparkles and glitter everywhere because I felt like hot pink called for it. I don't know why, but whenever I see hot pink, I think of sparkles. I think it's because when I was little, I used to love like hot pink things with sparkles in them. So to me, I think that like hot pink needs glitter. I even ended up adding some glitter to the guitar because like, why not? I was also changing the line art in some areas and just fixing little things that I thought could use a little bit of help. I wasn't happy with the shape of her hair for some reason, so that was one of the things that I edited, and I am happier with it now, although I don't really know what was wrong with it. I feel like there was something that was just a little bit off. I really hope though that you guys all enjoyed watching me draw her, and PG Palette, I really hope that you like how my art turned out. It was a lot of hard work, but in the end, it was so worth it. Anyways, here we are. Here is the finished picture of Mika. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.